Lara, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Where in the country are you?
It's hard for me to even know some days. I was in Colorado for 2 days, and now I'm actually back in New York.
Oh, that's nice. 2 young kids.
Yep, back with the kids, which is very exciting. At least I get a couple of days with them, and then we're back out on the road.
Well, I want to congratulate you. The campaign has just been amazing to behold. It is a behemoth. And having worked on the little scrappy, little engine that could 2016 campaign, to see what's happening now has just been amazing. You deploy these enormous surrogate teams out into the states. President Trump is getting more votes than any incumbent president ever has in a primary season. And you're holding these counter-programming rallies, which completely and totally dominate the news cycle. So just tell me about what's going on in the Trump campaign, because it's been so impressive to behold.
Well, thank you. And I have to say, Mike, to you, you were so incredible. Such a great team player in 2016. We were so lucky to have you on our team, and you're one of the reasons that I truly believe Donald Trump is president right now. But you remember, as you said, it was a little scrappy in 2016. And I use this analogy because I heard Brad use it one time. He said that the 2016 campaign was sort of like an airplane that we were building in the air and putting the parts on as it was flying. And then at the last second, we got the landing gear secured on the plane and down, ready to land the plane at the very exact second we needed to. And that's sort of what it felt like to any of us that worked on the campaign in 2016. Now we're in a very, very different space. Obviously, you've seen the epic fundraising that we've been able to do for the president. And, I mean, I think you hear about all the polls out there, Mike, all the time. And you and I both know the polls in 2016 were so wrong when it came to Donald Trump. I still think they're wrong now. But our best polling, we find, is internal polling, and it's with fundraising. Our average donation is around $40. And you've seen the historic fundraising, really, that we've done all along, but especially since Nancy Pelosi called for impeachment. So that said, we have a lot of money. We are such a structured, organized campaign, like a well-oiled machine. And so we've been able to get out in these states so far ahead of anything that we could have dreamed to do in 2016. We've got teams on the ground ready to go. We have around 500,000 volunteers that we've formally trained to go out there, knock doors, meet with people, register voters. So we're really running on all cylinders. And as you pointed out, you see that the president is out there doing rallies at the same time the Democrats are having their messy, crazy debates. And I think the American people are loving it. So we're so proud of the campaign and where we've come really since 2016.
Your analogy is quite apt about the building a plane as it's flying. I was in my mid-20s at the time and got gray hairs from it. So, but so you went to rallies. You've had, I think, Phoenix, Colorado, and then is Nevada tonight, the Nevada rally? So,
yep, Las Vegas tonight.
Then are you doing rallies in South Carolina ahead of that primary as well?
We're going to be in South Carolina and North Carolina coming up. So you'll never get sick of seeing the president around. And if there's a primary or a caucus coming near you, then you can probably bet that we're going to be doing something with the president in your area.
Well, that's amazing. And Virginians were a little downcast because they elected a Democratic majority in both the House and the Senate, and it hasn't been great for the state of Virginia. And this coming from the guy that ran the state. But I feel extremely bullish. We had Jerry Falwell Jr. on the show. We had Secretary Scalia on the show. We had Charlie Kirk and Mark Lotter. We've had an amazing show, but all of them are saying the same things. The economy is robust. The president is delivering on promises. I agree with you as far as polling goes. He's notoriously underpolled, and at the same time, the Gallup polls have him about 49-50% approval, which I think is still soft. At the same time, the Democrats are killing each other. They have no clear nominee. And, you have more money than ever. So you're in a very good position as the Trump campaign. What do you think is going to happen in the Nevada caucus on the Democratic side? And then tell us about how streamlined and amazing the Nevada caucus operation is for the Trump campaign, because it just makes me happy.
Well, I think we're all paying close attention to see what happens for the Democrats in this caucus. Obviously, you've seen that Bernie Sanders has really come out on top of everything, and I think that's why you see such a messy situation going on with the Democrats. They are now realizing that their front runner, the guy at the very top, that they're going to have to likely put out there, because they can't pull a fast one again this time, Mike. Remember in 2016, it should have been Bernie, but they rigged the system to get Hillary the nomination because she was supposed to be anointed and crowned in 2016 as the first woman president. That said, I think they're realizing Bernie Sanders is probably going to be their front runner going forward. So we're probably looking at him winning the Nevada caucuses, and I'm pretty sure that that's sending the Democrat establishment into meltdown, because they know that people in this country are not going to vote for socialism. When people start realizing, if they haven't already, how detrimental it would be if we put a socialist in the White House, you would see a country that was completely unrecognizable as America. This would completely reverse course on everything that the president has put in place, the great economic boom, the incredible job numbers that we see every single month, surpassing anything that anyone thought was possible, the wage growth, the consumer confidence, small business confidence, that all goes away. And this country is becoming bankrupt day by day if you have a socialist in there, and it would be a really, really scary prospect. That said, our situation at the Trump campaign on the ground is very, very strong. You probably saw, if you watched the rally last night, the president likes to call everybody out. He had a full team of surrogates there. They're all going to go with him to Nevada. We got all hands on deck for the game day operations there. And listen, we hope to see more historic numbers for the president in the turnout.
Well, I think you're going to. And what really makes me happy, and I think it should make every Trump supporter happy, is Mike Bloomberg. Your brother-in-law said it best. You can't buy a personality, right?
Yeah.
And what I was saying earlier in the show is the sheer dichotomy between Michael Bloomberg and Donald Trump. They're both, the only thing that they share is that they're both billionaires and they're both from New York. However, Donald Trump went out in 2016, spoke to thousands of people every day, tens of thousands of people a week, hundreds of thousands of people a month, and he barely spent any money. It was all organic. It's all love that he was just able to garner because he's Donald Trump. At the same time, Michael Bloomberg, hiding behind his money, he has President Obama narrating ads about him, and when he finally shows up, not only does he lose the debate, he imploded on national television. So if I'm going to pick a New York billionaire, I'm going to pick Donald Trump, who's delivered on every promise, has sky-high approval ratings, has the most lovely family in America, and is going to not only surpass Ronald Reagan's numbers, but George H.W. Bush's numbers and George W. Bush's numbers in all of these primaries, because this is a testament to what y'all have created and what the president's administration has created, which is a pro-growth, hugely economic, strong defense, make America great again, keep America great again agenda, and it's been a pleasure to behold it over the last 4 years.
Oh, well, thank you. We're obviously so proud of him, and I also think when it comes to Bloomberg, you can't buy your way into a nomination and think that that's going to sit well, especially with the Bernie supporters, with the very far-left progressives that really are the only energy in the Democrat Party right now. That's the only place you see crowds is for Bernie Sanders. Other than that, it's like they're trying to shuffle people in off the street, crowd around these folks. And I just don't see it sitting well with them. I think we're probably headed towards a brokered convention of some variety for the Democrats.
Amen.
It's a really interesting year to be here and to be an American and to be part of this process. But I think you're right. I think at the end of the day, listen, it doesn't matter who they nominate on the Democrat side. We're looking at 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Well, thank you so much, Lara. It was a pleasure. This was Mike Rubino hosting the John Fredericks Radio Show. Lara, thank you again. It was a pleasure.
You got it. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.